Guys, it's Miss Silva. We're going to start our first lesson of the year with expressions versus equations. So our learning target for this lesson is I can identify and simplify expressions and equations. In order for us to be successful for this lesson, we need to be able to compare expressions and equations, then combine like terms, and then tomorrow, or sorry, for the next lesson, we're going to be distributing. So for today, we're only concentrating on the first two. So for our expressions are one or more terms grouped together by mathematical operations without an equal sign. For example, we have 2x minus 3. Notice how that does not have an equal sign, therefore it is called an expression. Another example is through 5x squared plus 4 minus 8z. Again, that does not have an equal sign anywhere, so it is considered an expression. Let's look at the next one. We've got an equation. An equation is when you have two expressions that equal to each other with, obviously, an equal sign. Notice how the word equation looks very similar to equal and equal sign. So notice how it says we have two expressions that are said equal to each other. This expression, 2x minus 3, right now it's an expression because there's no equal sign. Once I put that equal sign and another expression on the right side, now it is considered an equation. Let's look at the next example or create another example. We've got the expression 5x squared. Right now it's an expression. Let's create an equation, put that equal sign, and another expression on the other side. We'll say 100. Now it is an. So to continue, we have some important terminology that we need to know. Right now we know that this is considered an equation because of this equal sign. And then we have this number here. This number is considered a term. This is also a term. Notice how I'm including this negative sign. And we also have positive 36 is also a term. So in total, we've got 3 terms on the left side of that equal sign. On the right side of this equal sign, we have 1 term with that plus sign and 2 terms. So on the right side, we have 2 terms. So in total, this equation has 5 terms. The next thing we're going to look at the number without the variable. This is considered a constant. On the left side, we only have one constant, which is positive 36. On the right side, we have a constant of 82. And the reason it's a constant is because it does not have a variable or a letter. Now, what is a variable? This m right here, any letter in an equation or expression is considered a variable. Here, this is also a variable, and this is also a variable. Now, that number in front of that or attached to that variable is called a coefficient. This -9 is my coefficient, and the 7 is also the coefficient. So now that we know the correct terms for each one of those, the terminology for each one of those terms, we can move on. So we are going to combine like terms. And to combine like terms, we can either color, align, or draw shapes for like terms to include the sign in front of the term. My second step would be to put all like terms in a group. And the third step is to simplify and rewrite. Okay, let's go on to this first example. Now notice how we have an expression on this side and an expression on this side of this equal sign. Together it is an equation, but separately they are expressed. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at now if we look at that expression on the left side, what is a term that has the same variable? Now if we look over here, we've got negative 7x also has an x, so we're going to be able to combine those two together. And after I rewrite them, I like to cross them off so I don't forget any. Next, we're going to look at the next term. We've got negative 4y. We're going to create its own column because it doesn't have an x. So we have negative 4y, and this 8 also has a y, so it's a positive 8y. And we're going to combine those two. So on the left side, once we simplify, we have negative 4x plus 4y. Now let's look at the right side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to simplify that expression. We first start with 2z, and we can combine 2z with negative 9z. There's no other z's, so let's look at the next term. We've got 2, and 2 is a constant, so the other constant is a positive 6. And we're just going to combine them. 2z minus 9z is negative 7z, and then 6 plus 2 is positive 8. So my new equation is negative 4x plus 4y equals negative 7z plus 8. And that's it for our first lesson. Good luck.